got to continue to speak those things. You've got to continue to believe those things, but also celebrate where you're at.
Absolutely.
My daughter, my oldest daughter, has different issues, if you will, and she used to drool like crazy. And we literally have had her tonsils taken out, her adenoids taken out, been to the ear, nose, and throat doctor. I mean, we've had so many appointments to try to figure it out and just can't quite figure it out.
Get it.
And I would be so overwhelmed because we would be at church or, at a restaurant around family, and her shirt would just be soaked. I mean, like she's like 5 years old. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah. And it would be so difficult. But then I had to learn that's not her. That's a part of who she is, but that's not her. She's still a bright child. She's still a beautiful child. She's a loving child. I think you saw her the other day at the picnic.
Yeah.
She's going
Yeah.
up and meeting friends.
Yeah.
Like,
She
she's
was
like,
awesome.
okay, I might have these things, but let me go say hi to some kids. Do you guys want to play? Do you want to
Right.
eat with me? Like, that's her personality. She's a outgoing go-getter. So
Yeah.
I've got to celebrate the strengths that she has. I've got to celebrate the beautiful things as well with my son. He's so lovey. He a little too much when he's touching my face like crazy, but
Yeah.
he's like cuddly and like he hugs me and he comes home and he automatically takes off his coat or jacket, puts his backpack down, takes off his shoes, puts them in the closet, takes off his socks, puts them in the sock drawer. Then I have to take them out of the sock drawer and put them in the dirty clothes. But he's like, wow, that's amazing. Like, let's
Yeah.
celebrate the amazing things, the amazing gifts that our children do have instead of
Yeah.
always looking at what they don't have.
Right. Absolutely. And that does happen a lot.
Oh, yeah.
With with schools and the IEPs, this is
Oh, man.
where they're not. And I really have made an effort, specifically in the schools and with his IEP, to really focus on. I understand that's what he's not doing, but I want to
Right.
focus on what he can do
Yes,
and how we
absolutely.
can take this positiveness to bridge the gap between him and his classmates.
Mm,
And so there are a lot of areas in our lives where well, he can't do this.
oh, yeah.
And it's very much like me to say, I don't care what he can't do. Let's look
Right.
at what he can do, and
Yes.
then how do we bridge that gap to where we want him to do? Or,
Mm,
if he can't do something, what are the steps that we
yeah.
need to teach him
Hmm.
so that he will be able to do those things?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
agree with
And
you.
yeah, so and it's very easy as a mom to get wrapped up into, he can't do this. And, look
Yeah.
at you, the perseverance and
Hmm.
waiting 6 years. I get goosebumps even thinking about it right now. You know, you waiting 6 years to hear the words
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
We
Hmm.
waited about three.
Wow.
So I know the wait, but, nothing near as much like the wait that you've had. But it's,
Yeah.
again, it's one of those things where I get it, not exactly where you are,
Hmm.
but I get it. And
Yeah.
so, that's what it gives me goosebumps. And
Hmm.
that's where, if you hadn't reached out to me and made that connection,
Yeah.
and we wouldn't have had this. So,
Yeah.
okay, so let's go back to our gathering place just for a few more
Okay.
minutes. So, you went through this kind of pitching and grant process
Hmm.
to win a competition.
Yeah.
So, you have your first meal coming up. You
Yes.
have a location. It's a community center, if I'm correct.
Yes. Yes. The La Vista Community Center. Um, I want to say it's 8116 Parkview Lane, in La Vista.
Very good from
Um,
memory.
and the very cool thing about that is I literally, so my dad was in the military, he's retired military. So we lived on base for a while, and then they moved to La Vista, bought a house in La Vista. And I don't even know if the community center was built when we initially moved there, but it was built. And so we lived like 5 minutes away from there. So my sisters and I, my brother, we would go there sometimes and hang out and meet friends there and stuff like that. So it is like super cool to me that this is where we're going to have our first Our
Yeah.
Gathering Place dinner, because it's kind of full circle for me, if you will, because this is where I
Yeah.
hung out when I was a kid. Um, so they were just absolutely 100% on board immediately when I asked or just told them what I wanted to do. So it's going to be at the La Vista Community Center on June 13th. That's a Wednesday night from 5 to 8 p.m. It will be in the gym. We have pretty much the whole center to ourselves. So we are planning to have a sensory room, just in case anything is a little bit overwhelming for kiddos or they just need a minute to themselves. We have EBE Films, Erica Johnson. She is going to do videography, and she's also going to allow families to get a family picture if they want to,
Oh,
provided by her,
cool.
which is so cool because, like, what a memory to have,
Yeah.
of our kickoff night of just you and your family coming, no judgment zone, being your authentic self, and just having that picture to kind of remember. So EB Films, Erica Johnson's going to do the pictures. We will have food and drink, of course. I'm working on hopefully a kind of a cool surprise right now. We're waiting on some confirmation on that. We're going to have a couple of things to give away. We'll have some music and we'll have a very, very, very energetic MC.
How awesome.
I can't tell you more
So
than
cool.
that.
Yes. Well, I'm excited for it.
I am
And
too.
just to see where it all goes. So,
And you
do
can go to Our Gathering Place Omaha
sorry.
on Facebook, Our Gathering Place Omaha on Facebook. If you have, and that has the link to the Eventbrite actual event where you can register for you and your family. And if you need to send an email or have further questions, go to Our Gathering Place Omaha at gmail.com. And there you can send me an email and I can answer any questions that you may have. My personal Facebook page is Kinesha Johnson Roach. Kinesha Johnson Roach on Facebook. Again, if you have any questions, you just want to send me a message, I'll be more than willing to answer that for you. We are really hoping to get the word out as much as possible because this is just not for the autism community, which I'm a strong part of, but this is for any family. Like, even if there's a kid, a teenager, an older kid who, who's over 18. I know one family, I believe the mom is autistic, so we're going to hopefully have them there. But this is for families who have a special needs member to come and, again, get that sense of connection, feel that community, have some understanding by being their true authentic selves. And then we want to hopefully start incorporate some outreach, which is outreach, understanding, and relationship building. So we are so,
So
so
cool.
excited, and we're looking for a big turnout.
Yeah, no, it's just so awesome. So, do you have kind of like one last little parting words
Ooh.
of wisdom or advice? You've had so many great little nuggets throughout this. I'm gonna
I know
have
I
to
have
listen
to
to it
watch this.
again. Yeah,
I have to rewatch this because there was something I said earlier. I was like, "Oh, that's good."
I know it was. It was about stay
The
hiding.
isolation.
The isolation. I'm gonna like put that out and put your name on that. That was so good.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. I guess my advice or last parting words would be just to take that step. Take one step. Like, you don't have to do a marathon.
right.
Take one step and connect with somebody else. Because in your connecting, you connecting your story to their story. I heard somebody say connecting your story to their story equals a greater story. And when we have connection, we don't feel alone. We're not isolated, but we have somebody we can lean on. We have somebody who we can say, "Hey, I'm having a rough day. Can you just pray for me, think about me, send me well wishes?" Um, and then we just find really cool things, like if we're isolated and not willing to take a step to see what's out there, then again, we're limiting ourselves. But if we take a step and we say, "Oh, wow, I didn't know this activity was going on. I didn't know this activity was happening. Wow, there's a camp for this. My child can go to this.
Yeah.
Wow." When you open up your eyes and just take a look around and connect with others, you're going to be happier.
Yeah. No, I just absolutely love it. And it all just totally fits in with the theme. And I love it that you say you don't have to run a marathon.
Yeah.
I am going to be running a marathon in November to raise
Oh,
to raise
cool.
money for tuberous sclerosis, but training day one needs to start here pretty soon.
Woo!
But yeah, but
I can
just
be on the sideline waving
you can
because I
wave to
again,
me.
Kanisha's not a
Yeah.
runner. No.
Yes, but yeah, just taking that one step, reaching out to one person is all it takes just to
Can
get
I
it
say one more
started.
thing too?
Absolutely.
And do not compare yourself
Oh,
to other people.
or your child.
Like, I'll be real with you. I move a little bit slower when it comes to decision making and when it comes to doing things. Like, that's just me. I'm not always like quick to move. And I move slower. And there have been times in my life where I have been like, ugh, I have friends with doctorate degrees. I have friends that are doctors. I have friends that
Yeah.
are lawyers. One of my closest friends, we went to high school together. She was a year older than me, I believe. She's a doctor
Yeah.
and she lives in California now. And she will text me at least twice a month and say, "You encourage me. You motivate me."
Awesome.
And I'm like, huh? I'm just a little caterer with a little family,
Going big time.
little military wife. But you never know the impact that you are making to others
Yeah.
just by being your true, authentic self. So do not compare yourselves. I had to get over that. I had to be
Yeah.
like, well, I've kind of been a teen parent. I've been a divorcee. I just went back to college in my early 30s. I haven't accomplished all these, I don't have all these awards hanging on my wall. But what am I doing? I'm just trying to make a very small impact in what is real to me, and that is the special needs community. And people are like, it can be overwhelming when people tell me, we're encouraged by you. We're excited about what you're doing. We're on board. I met with a physician's assistant last week, and she was like, "Kanisha, I got your back." And I'm like, whoa. It's not about me, it's about helping others, but don't look at your progress and compare it to somebody else's progress. Be thankful for where you are at and maximize it.
Yeah.
Maximize it. If that means encouraging one person and encouraging them once a month, maximize that. Do something nice for somebody. Again, it can be a step. It doesn't have to be a marathon. Sometimes I think in the social media world that we live in, that we have to do all these big and amazing things. That's great, but what can we do day by day to help impact somebody else? I guarantee you, when you find that and find your purpose of what you can do every single day or every single week, every single month to help somebody else, I'm telling you, you'll have peace
Yeah.
and you have just found your purpose.
Yeah. And I know that you said you're out to have a small impact, but I think you have no idea. You are going to have a very huge and profound impact
Thank
on
you.
the families of children with special needs. So
Thank you.
I think you just closed everything out really well right there. Like, I don't have anything else to say. So I want to
And
send a
you're so
huge,
awesome. You're so
oh,
awesome.
thank
Dee.
you.
Like, thank you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for letting your voice be heard when you too could be like, we are this amazing Iowa family.
We all can
Oh,
know about that. Yeah. No,
We
thank
are
you.
just going to sit in our corner. Like, you have made the decision that, again, it's not just about you, but it's about helping others, redefining their
Yes.
normal. And that is so huge. So thank you so much, Wendy, just for being
Oh,
amazing and being so kind to me. And whatever I can do to help you, I'm here for it. So thank you.
oh, thank you. I'm so very, very grateful that you took that leap and that you reached